Now, this was something that was so stark and amazing to me that I absolutely had to include it in this discussion. And it's because I am very familiar with and have studied many different movies. I have a background in the production of movies and film and video. And so I analyze movies. I analyze them for the messages that they provide. And in the case of the movie I'm going to talk with you about now, it's very blatant. It's very open about the message that it contains. And that movie is Knowing from 2009. I'll give you a synopsis, really, of the movie briefly before I show you some clips. But in this movie, a man's young son starts getting contacted. He hears voices. He starts seeing visions. And those visions and warnings all seem to be about a coming cataclysm, a coming destruction, something bad that's going to happen. And throughout the movie, this father discovers more and more about what's happening. The boy is actually interacting with these beings, generally these men dressed in black clothing. And they are giving him the visions and the warnings. And in the end, something amazing happens.
No!
Dad, don't!
Who are you?
They've chosen us so we can start over. So everything can start over. He's saying only the chosen must go. Those who heard the call.
Please.
Love you, Daddy.
So that's the movie Knowing from 2009. It shows us a story of these angels reaching out to these children, this young boy and young girl. And they are, of course, specifically reaching out to the children and not the adults, giving them this message of the coming doom, the coming doom for all of Earth, that the whole Earth will be destroyed, and that they are saving children, taking them off of the planet to start a new world, some other place. And so the key aspects of that are, number one, that there is a destruction of the entire Earth. Number two, that, quote, children are the only ones allowed to leave before that destruction. And then the third is that the children are in a new place, a new land, and you see them at the very end running towards a tree, a very large tree that looks heavenly in appearance. And we have to realize that this matches up with a lot of things in prophecy, a lot of things not only in some of the ancient writings that we've read, but even in the biblical account of prophecy. You'll note that throughout the movie, there was an image shown of Ezekiel and the wheel within a wheel that's mentioned in the book of Ezekiel in the Bible. Of course, the reference being that that was a spiritual thing and that that was related to these angels in some way. But in general, this whole idea of the end of the world occurring and fire raining down upon the earth and burning it from one end to the other, but that only a select few would be taken off the earth, and that those were, quote, children. The Bible says that those are the children of God. They're the only ones that can go. Of course, these angels take the special children to heaven, and they put them in a new place near the tree of life. Well, the biblical narrative also talks about that people who would go to heaven, the righteous, the children of God that would go there, would be restored to Eden, to paradise, and that they would be able to eat from the tree of life once again, the tree that sits in the middle of the garden. And so this movie kind of paints this picture that on multiple levels is very biblical. Now, you do need to think about the people that made the movie. Who put this message into this movie and decided to make this movie? Well, the director was Alex Proyas. He is known for directing a host of other science fiction movies that also seem to have very profound meanings behind them. For instance, starting in 1994 with the movie The Crow. Then in 1998, the movie Dark City, which was a profound message of enlightenment or realization that humanity is trapped by an evil race. And in the end of that movie, giving us a vision of a flat earth scenario that has been made into a prison for humanity. Then in 2004, Alex Proyas did the movie I, Robot, which again had profound meanings specifically about the future of humanity. And then, of course, in 2009, he did this movie, Knowing. And in 2016, he did a movie called Gods of Egypt. Of course, when I saw that, it just made me think back to the testimonies of this guy named Chris Bledsoe, who said that he had encountered, quote, the lady who identified herself as Hathor, a goddess of Egypt. And so all of those things, of course, kind of connect. But just showing you that Alex Proyas seems to be a director who intentionally includes very profound messages in his films. So seeing that he did this film Knowing from start to finish and embedded this message about possibly a coming cataclysm of the earth. Could this have been a disclosure? Oftentimes we do see movie directors putting messages in their films that they can't openly speak about. I believe that's exactly what Alex Proyas did with the movie Knowing in 2009.